Are you tired of manually entering data from tables that come from images into Excel, only to end up frustrated and overwhelmed? Discover the game-changing techniques to effortlessly convert any image into a neatly organized Excel table. In this video, we'll unveil the step-by-step methods that will save you hours and transform your data management workflow. Stay tuned to unlock the full potential of Excel with ease. So let's try to get some data from the clipboard, a table. And I'm going to bring up a table here. And this table comes from the BEA, Bureau of Economic Analysis. So for the clipboard, I'll give you two examples. Let's do it both ways, where this is actually a table in HTML format, but let's try to copy it first to see how they both work out. Control Windows S. That's going to bring up the snipping tool. And what I'm going to do is select this area, and it's going to copy it to the clipboard. Select that, go back into Excel. So let's bring that data in. So we'll go to Data, go to Picture, and then Picture from Clipboard. And then it's going to bring up this side window here. Let me make it a little bit bigger. And it's going to analyze it and bring it in. And so you have the option where you have these red areas to update it. Let's show the website here to compare it. And you can see Excel's done a decent job of bringing that in, but we still have to go and massage it and update it. So let's do that. And what we can do is just click into the cell where there's red, and we can accept it or we can close it. There's something wrong here. I'm just going to double click that and bring it in. Control V to paste from the other area that I just copied it from. And it changed it. I accepted it. Now it turns white. This 0.04 here, I don't know what's the problem here. Let me just go double click that and accept it. And here it's just showing you the different areas where you might need to pay attention to. Let me just update this and we'll speed up the video. So once we're done making the changes, all we need to do is insert data, and it's going to put it into the cell where we indicated where we want it. And so here, you also have to do a little bit more kind of formatting and changes. Now, how does that differ from when you are able to copy and paste it from a web page? So let's say, for example, this web page here, it does show it where, it is in a table format. So in this instance, we're a little bit lucky because this is in a table format. And where all we need to do is just select my cells here, Control C to copy, and then go in here and Control V to paste. And it's actually pasted it quite well. And I can just do paste and paste the destination formatting. It'll get rid of all the other formatting. And you can see if I double click this, it's the auto fit. It's also done a not so bad job of doing it. You can see that there's some areas where you still need to change. So in this instance of copying it, bringing it in from a clipboard, whether you use the data from Picture Clipboard or just Control C to Control V to paste, there are still some areas where you need to update it. And you can see there still needs to be a little bit of work to kind of fine tune it. So okay, that was getting the image from the clipboard. But what if we had a situation where it looked like it was from a web page and it looked like we can get the table, but it's actually an image? In case we get this type of situation, we're in a browser, but you can see that it's a PNG file and this is a picture. This is not a table, even though you can see it in your browser. How can we get that in? So what we need to do is insert it as an image. Here, we're going to go from data, from picture, and then we're going to get picture from file. Select that. Here I'm going to pull in that same image here. Double click that and it's going to bring it in and it's going to analyze that picture and it's going to go through the same thing that we had earlier. As you can see here, it's gone through the process of bringing that picture in, and now we got to update some of the cells that are red. For example, here, August. August thinks that period is an asterisk, so I'm going to put period there, click accept. And same with the other fields here. I'm just going to go through it and speed up this video. Now you see that it's brought it in, and the same with the previous example. It's brought it in, and you also need to do a little bit of cleanup. So you can see that it's not altogether perfect, but still it's brought in a lot of things here where you don't have to copy and paste each individual value and put it in there. So it's kind of nice in that sense, even though this came from a picture. It's done that pretty well, and you still need to check the numbers, make sure that they match. And this is offset, so you got to move that up here. And so if this is a lot of data, this might not be ideal, but it's better than typing it all in one by one. So the next thing I'm going to cover is bringing it in from a PDF. So you can see that this is actually a PDF file, and it's got a bunch of tables and data that you can bring in. I'm going to bring in that first table here that we saw here. And this is actually not using this data from picture, and it's going to be using another feature still within the data tab under the Get and Transform data group. And if you've used Power Query, you're probably going to be very familiar with this. Let's go to the PDF tab here, and under data, go to Get Data, and from File, we're going to get data from PDF. Now we need to go search for that PDF. Here's my PDF file, click import, and it's going to go through Power Query, the Get and Transform part of Power Query, and bring that in, connect into that PDF file, and you have a selection of tables that you can choose from. You can see that it's kind of searched through that PDF, and it's going to give you a bunch of tables that you can search through. This is going to be the first table, and when you select on it, and actually it's not the first table because I think there was another table there. I think probably it's the second table. Yeah, this is the second table where we're going to pull it in. And what you can do is you probably don't want to load it in initially. You want to transform that data. You want to do a little bit of cleanup for that data and bring it in. And I'm not going to do a full cleanup. And you can see that when we've brought Power Query in, it's already done some of the transformation and pulling in the data into a table format. And this still might be okay for this example. Let me go ahead and close and load. And we can see that it's brought it in to the Excel file in our worksheet here as table 1. And here in this example, we still need to update some of the fields, do a sanity check on some of the values, make sure that they match up. But again, instead of typing this data in, copying, pasting in the separate values in each cell, we can have it done in wholesale as a whole table, and you just need to go ahead and validate these cells individually. But what if you got a PDF file and it wasn't formatted correctly? What do I mean? Let's bring in another PDF file and I'll show you what I mean. So here's a file that we brought into our browser, and it does have the PDF extension, and it looks like it's a table that you can bring it in, but we can see once we do it, there's going to be a problem with it. So I'm back here, go to get data from file, from PDF. We're going to get that file, click import, and we're going to see that there's going to be some problem bringing in that file because it's not going to recognize it. So if I select on here, page 1, it says the table is empty. Why is it empty? Well, sometimes when you get a PDF file of a table, you think it's in a table format. It's not. It's actually an image. So even though it looks like a table within the PDF file, it's not a table. It was an image that was converted to a PDF. And here, you're going to have to do the same thing as you got it from the clipboard. Control Windows S. That's going to come up where we can get the snipping tool. Select that data and go through the same thing from picture, from clipboard. It's going to bring it in. It's going to recognize it from the clipboard, and you can do the same thing that we did here in the first example. So what about ChatGPT? Well, let's try it out, and it's going to be surprising how good it is. So I'm going to use the ChatGPT that is in Bing, Microsoft Bing, which I renamed it Copilot. So you go to bing.com, and you can go to Copilot here, and they're basically using the same engine as ChatGPT, probably ChatGPT 3.5 or 4. And you can actually put an image in here and have it look for something for you. And if it's not too crazy, you can actually get a table out of there. So let's put the image in there. I'm going to put an image here, drag this over here. It's going to copy it, and I'll ask ChatGPT to make a table for me. It's taking some time, so I'm going to pause this video and come back. Wow, and it also transposed it. But let's say if you didn't want it like that, we can ask ChatGPT to transpose the fields. You notice that there's this little icon here where you can edit in Excel, and when you click on it, it's going to bring it into Excel, but you're going to have an online version of Excel for you to sign in and do it. But let's not do that. Let's say, give it to me in Markdown language. And once it's in this format, what you can do is then you can copy and paste it. Actually, Markdown language is a little bit harder to kind of copy and paste it. You can download the file and then import it into it. Let's ask Copilot to put it into a comma separate value. Now with this, I can copy, select copy, go back into Excel, Control V to paste, and let's double click it to auto fit here. And it's done an okay job. You can select that, delete that. Let's move this over. Again, you're going to have to validate it, but it's another option if you wanted to get tables that are in images or in PDFs and put it into Excel quickly instead of typing in each individual value or each individual record. So there's a couple options that you can use, ranging from getting it from the clipboard, using the Power Query, or getting transform option, and using Copilot with their version of ChatGPT. That wraps up our deep dive into effortlessly converting images to Excel. For more innovative Excel hacks, hit subscribe and check out our mini playlist.